Just got the ModelExpo hole planking clamping kits. So far, I got a few of them. I've been working on these, trying to put these together. Quasi have a somewhat of a process going here. Obviously, when they come out of the box, I bring them over here. Some of these aren't cut very well. As you can see, like this one here, these cuts are horrible. I've got a situation that I'll get to here in a minute on how to remedy that. So that's not a loss. At first, when I first started doing this, I was like, I'm not going to be able to use that. But I figured out a way to use it. So anyway, once they come here, you have to cut each little as you can see, each notch has to be cut on each one of these. Then these come out. As you can see how dark that edge is, that's from the laser cutting. These have a lot of soot and nasty. As all through here, you can see all this scoring. It's not so bad on the back of that one. Like that one right there. That's all the serious burn. That piece is really burnt. You can see it really bad on the back of this one versus the back of this one. All of that extra burn. So when the piece is that burnt, so far out of all of this, I've built, there's my two that are finished. I built one with Gorilla Glue and one with wood glue. And I'm going to stick to building them with wood glue, and I'll show you why in a minute. But literally just from building those two and taking these apart, and I haven't sanded these ones down from here that way. I've sanded everything down, and you can pretty much see, let me get rid of that glare. That just makes it worse. You can see all this smudge marks and everything on my mat here. These things are pretty filthy when you're working with them, which, as you can see here from my files from sanding, that's how much soot and nasty's on these. So cleaning them up is kind of a, like these ones here, I haven't touched those hardly at all, but you can see on these ones, there's some residual, some soot on there. And some ash. Even on these ones here, you can see this has got stuff all over the top of it. I think this is the one I did with wood glue. I kind of like the way that these turned out. As you can see, the two little prongs, pins, whatever, as those were sitting facing the camera, you can see they're not exactly parallel, which is the problem with these that I'm having. On the instructions, it says make sure everything's parallel. With all these cuts not being perfectly precise, i.e., that right there, it's very hard to get them extremely precise. I'm kind of getting in the ballpark, so it's kind of working. Now, I bought these because I understand, you can get binder clips from Office Depot, and they'll work just fine for planking. But I wanted these. That's why I got these. No other reason than I wanted them. I enjoy putting stuff together anyway. As you can tell, I'm working on putting other stuff together while I'm putting this together. And then I've got that project over there putting together. So anyway, so like I was saying, with the ones that are messed up, I did this one with super glue. And this is where I found out, okay, I'm not going to be able to do super glue. Now, I don't know if you can see it or not, but as soon as I put these together with super glue, they immediately stuck. And that's a really good view right there of what happened. There's no, with super glue in this, there is no adjustment. It's touch and you're done. And that really kind of was like, oh crap, now I can't use this at all. And you can see how small this piece is. And you can see how much movement there is in the camera just from me. I'm steadying my other hand up against my body, and I'm still kind of shaky. So getting old, I'm not as steady as I used to be. But I figured out an easy way to fix that. And here's one that I made this one. So as you can tell, I don't have a hole in it yet because I haven't drilled the hole. But literally, dadgummit, come on. And I'm trying to use the grid so you can see how precise I ended up getting. My flat there is not very well, but you can see that's almost an exact duplicate. I haven't drilled the hole yet for the simple fact that once I put these together, I'll drill the hole that way using the other existing holes as my guide. And this is how I ended up doing it. I took the scrap piece here, traced out what I needed to do, and then just took my snips, these here, and cut them. I didn't try using my blades or anything. Actually, I tried that at first, and I ended up making a bigger mess. And then I was like, well, let's see if this works. And lo and behold, blam, it worked. On this piece here, to get this radius, all I did was put this one on top, score that line with my razor blade, and then use the snips to cut perpendicular to my score line along that radius. And literally it came out perfectly, and I was extremely happy with it. And so now, where I thought I was going to end up losing one, I've figured out, yeah, it's wood. I can just make something. Whereas, you know, in the olden days, plastic was always the when you made something out of plastic, it was like, okay, that's trash. That piece is destroyed. I can't go any further because I can't make plastic. So anyway, the process basically, well, now we'll get, after all that, here's the process. Take the pieces out, cut them, get them all out, and then from here, I sand each and every single piece inside, especially this piece, because this here is the clamping area. So as you can tell on this one, once this goes on the hull, it's this area in here that will be supplying my clamping force to hold it wherever I want it. And then the little pins are what hold the downward pressure for the planks. So, and you can kind of quasi-tell, this is the one I did with super glue. I don't know if you can see, yeah, that's kind of trying to look through the camera and do this at the same time. You can see I've got right above my thumb on the right side there's a crack. That was me figuring out how big to make the holes for these pins. But on the inside of the circle on the left there, you can see other parts of the interior of the wood it's not completely flush. Now the outside edge is really flush, and I barely sanded that down. You can still see a lot of the scoring on there, so I sanded it, but not perfectly. I didn't completely knock everything off there. I suggest strongly, if you ever get these, to definitely sand these, and try to. You're gonna get this laser cut stuff all over the place. So I'm working in my workspace, so my desk is. I've had this desk for about a week now, and so it's kind of getting a little bit dirty. But anyway, I run off on tangents sometimes. You got to forgive me a little bit. Getting old, I forget half the things I'm talking about as I'm talking about them. Anyway, I haven't sanded all of these down yet. And that takes, as you can tell from the sanding strips that I showed you earlier, it takes quite a while to sand each and every single one of these down. The process, once you get them, so these I haven't sanded, these I have. I have cut all of the top pins, but I haven't sanded them down yet either. And I'll show you here in a second once I get over to that end what I'm talking about. These ones I have sanded down, so my next step is to take the interior two and glue them together like this. So these two have already been glued, and then once you get to that point, then the very next step after that is, I forgot to put my pins up there. They're sitting over there. Anyway, then you'll take your outside parts, which is this one and this one, and you'll put them together. And you'll end up with this. And again, you can see I've sanded this. I didn't sand so much that I'm completely taking it apart, but like even here on this edge here, these two, these are the score marks. As you can see, like here's one. I don't know if you can see those very well. They're not showing up on the camera very well. But anyway, what I'm talking about is there and there and there. So you can still see those. That's how lightly I've sanded these. I'm trying not to completely take everything apart. From here, anyway, I'll put the bolt through like that. You got to drill out these holes. I think I'm using an 1/8 inch drill bit, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And see, once that goes to where it just slides back and forth real easy, the pin, I'm messing up my whole area, should just slide right in. And it quasi did. I'm putting a little bit of pressure on there, but you can see there it is right there already. So it's a good tight fit. And I can already tell that's not perpendicular, it's off, so not too thrilled about that, but anyway. I'm enjoying putting these together. Excuse me. So once I get those, I'll have to glue the top piece on there, and then they'll be like this. Again, using super glue. I'm not going to do that anymore. Like I said, I got the first one made with super glue, and I really didn't like how it ended up. The contact time is immediate. Again, as you can tell, like I said earlier, once I touched those together, that literally was, I couldn't even start to move it even a little bit. So that kind of bummed me out. So I'm just using Tight Bond 2 wood glue and my little baby bot. I think that's about it. The whole purpose of doing this, I said I was going to do that, is for when I do the hull planking on my model. And here's my model. This is my ship. USS Constitution. And hopefully when I'm finished, it will look like that over there. So that's my hope. I've never built a wooden model before. And of course, I'm so smart, I pick one that's exceptionally difficult. I've built several models. Obviously, you can see I'm constantly making little things around, all this. I've made several model boats in the past, but anyway, this is this project right here. As far as their order and delivery time, everything was exceptionally well. It took a little while to get. I think I ordered these in November or December. think it was mid-December when I ordered these. Towards, I don't know, anyway. I think overall it was like 4 to 6 weeks shipping time. It wasn't that long, not that bad. Other than that, I can't think of anything else. I'm enjoying this so far. I think we'll cut it there. So thanks for watching. Hope you all have a great day. Bye.